guys, and welcome back to another fresh week of trading with a ton of information to present, but with a lot of stuff going on as stock markets fall, gold prices fall, silver prices fall. Well, everything basically is going down the drain, apart from oil, obviously, which keeps rising. So let's check out important news and focus on what happened last week, because this might help us to kind of understand the future and next move in financial markets. Welcome to the briefing today on Monday. So this week we don't have much information to digest on the economic calendar, yet we have a fair bit to understand, and that fair bit is obviously of importance as well looking forward. German flash manufacturing PMI. Well, the data is below 50, expected below 50 from the manufacturing side. And that might tell us that it is expected on the lower end. So could be interesting, medium term, might move markets as well. However, we shall focus on what comes from the UK. PMI data from the UK is still on a higher front, and that might tell us that the market and the pound would be kind of quite interesting against other currencies, and we shall examine which currency pairs to talk about. If the market kind of comes out stronger than expected, it could obviously lift the pound to the upside. Yet the question is which currency pair to trade in this case. We can focus up on the pound Australian dollar to look at some of the currency pairs involved, right? So the pound might strengthen, and it is currently already against the Australian dollar. So that cross looks quite interesting. Looking at the market figures and looking at the recent supportive areas here, we see some support zone, and then there might actually indeed be another move to the upside. The pound might strengthen due to some slightly stronger data. The Australian dollar, vice versa, is somehow weaker on that front. The Australian dollar is obviously losing some steam, and that is seemingly just because the risk sentiment in financial markets on the weaker end. That usually helps the US dollar to gear up steam, and hence obviously the Aussie under pressure. So the pound Australian dollar might move higher as long as equity markets will correct further, the risk sentiment being negative, and that's reflected as well, as we can observe in the Australian against the US dollar currency pair. For us traders at fxstrategies.asia, we have a short position in this market because it looks like we see quite a bit of a rollover here in this market area, right? So we saw this technical resistance pattern. That's the one we observe here, double topish formation. And then we have this pin bar candlestick, which tells us that the market motivation might basically weaken further. Indeed, spoiler, the interesting market momentum here, despite the Australian Central Bank having raised the rates twice in a row, basically, to offset inflation, the market was not able to basically rise further. Instead, the market's focus is seemingly just more on this note, just because the market expects basically that risk sentiment, economic demand from China weakening, and hence obviously the Australian dollar a bit under pressure. This week's data as well, and brings us back to the economic calendar, will push us towards Wednesday. We get the consumer prices out of Australia, and if they come in slightly weaker, maybe the last impact of a rate hike has already or is already showing some negative momentum, the Australian dollar might come even further under pressure. Vice versa, if we see consumer prices still rising slightly, shouldn't be due to the war in Iran, could be though, a medium term at least. And if we see the consumer prices rising, this would be positive for the Australian dollar. However, on a technical note, remember, we'll run then back into the technical resistance pattern here. We run back into this resistance zone, which is up here. So that would enable us to kind of enter the market with another short position potentially. In any case, the market looks saturated here. We see as well that from the technical indication point of view here, looking at the relative strength index, the market is going to weaken potentially. And if the lows can break, if the market is able to break lower, we might see a further escalation here in this downside momentum lifted in regards to the US dollar, supported by the stronger dollar. Strength of the greenback obviously pulls markets to the downside. There's no exception in equities, especially US equities. The S&P 500 opened the week on a lower note. We'll now sit right on top of this important rising trend line, the 50 moving average, which might indicate that the market can start increasing momentum. But no, it doesn't really look like this when assessing here the MACD indication. Let's step back towards what we've seen basically last year, right? There was Trump again, a kind of indicating tariffs are implemented again, and the markets were way on the lower front here. And we see maybe the early stages of this. There is still room towards way lower areas here in or at around the 6,000 vicinity as a potential targetable zone here, but the downside might even intensify as the story unfolds. And it's not only Trump, it's not only Netanyahu or the Israelis on that broader note. No, markets were already kind of in a corrective pattern at and before the market momentum. It was just basically the trigger causing the market momentum to weaken, and that's now where we have all that story unfolding, and that's telling us basically that the downside momentum might simply continue. And with that, we see as well that the risk sentiment is obviously kind of the key parameter, the key part to take into consideration here. So what to buy, what to sell at the moment? Well, we see precious metals, gold prices, the insurance again falling markets are diverted to the downside. Gold falling on the back of the US dollar rising. We can see that trend and can check it out on our charting pattern as well. Let's take it into consideration. Gold prices have been falling, and it's quite often the case when markets are in turmoil. Traders close positions which had been in profit. Traders use the free margin, the free collateral, in order to buy more stocks or support their stocks. And that's exactly what's happening. Gold falling, silver falling, precious metals in general to the downside, the equity market losing some momentum. And that's kind of happening at the moment and might continue for a short period of time. But medium term, those prices might be the ones being used for entry opportunities when this market is kind of taken into consideration. Weekly charts, the last 4 weeks, the market been falling. We can see this. And when switching over to the dollar index, we can see that the same story has been happening as well. Recently, dollar index rising, meaning stronger dollar. And with a stronger dollar, we obviously see that the gold price is projected to fall further. The story might unfold even further. Gold might even fall towards the 50 moving average, a long-term supportive trend line, which had been oftentimes acted as a support zone, especially for a gold as well, looking at the long-term charts. But if the dollar index is able to break the psychological 100 level, the market might indeed correct further. The dollar's strength might help the gold prices to weaken again, so you can buy cheaper. Stronger dollar would also inhibit growth in the US as obviously from the outside US expectation, US stocks will getting pricier. That could kind of cause actually stock markets to basically fall further. And that's exactly how and why we should focus on this market here. So take into consideration the 100 US dollar level, not US dollar, the 100 level at the dollar index. What else to observe? Well, there's a few other markets we should take into consideration, and that's the oil market. Medium term, we can also say or talk about this from a different perspective. What if the market goes towards 130, 150, 200 dollars? Then you might be able or keen in basically selling the market short, not on leverage, not with your margin accounts. Well, obviously with your margin accounts, but just sell in small fractions and way lower compared to your overall portfolio level. Meaning to say, if you expect that this war, these geopolitical tensions will ease eventually, like we've seen when Russia attacked the Ukraine, we saw the same story. The market went to the upside. That's oil on a monthly charting pattern here, and then eventually fell, right? So we can talk here that was 125, and then basically like a year later, the market went down less than half to 60, $65. Something similar might happen as well, but don't expect the oil price to fall now. The situation might spiral out of control. So the oil price might strengthen further. So in small quantities, sell as the market goes higher, expecting the markets to weaken eventually. potentially to profit from the rise in prices with medium or longer term short positioning in this case. What else do we have? We don't have anything much to talk about in regards to the open positions. We had the euro pound trade, which we closed basically last week. Was seemingly a good decision. The market is bouncing at around the important support level. Now, the market is not telling us anything much, but in our community, we'll check out new entries as the market unfolds medium term. Silver prices are falling as well as the markets obviously look set to weaken further. Another interesting geopolitical play, and no, this time it's not different as I expected it to be, right? We had the market in the parabolic uptrend to the upside here to then fall again eventually. The market was in a somewhat parabolic uptrend and fell eventually. And now the market is rising eventually, or was rising eventually, and now looks like it's going to stabilize. At what level, we don't know, but medium term, it's interesting maybe to buy silver miners of some sort and check out entries at the lower prices, as medium term, the upside in silver is likely going to be elevated, but short term, the turmoil might continue, in particular, of course, as well, if the demand from the economic side weakens due to what we see in equity markets, silver prices would fall as well and kind of be shortable at that point. Would I short silver? Not at all, but I would prepare myself to, or will prepare myself to medium term start buying into that current trend again. The euro-US dollar currency pair we didn't talk about yet, and that's kind of quite some interesting momentum we observe. Last week, the market went again to the upside after all these risk sentiment stories. But now it looks like the dollar is taking over again, right? So I would play it from either side here, either an upside trade above the 116 level or a sell trade just below the lower price points. There you go. I mean, that's obviously the levels we should take into consideration. A break higher above the 50 moving average, a break lower below interesting candlestick patterns. So that's how we see the euro-US dollar currency pair. Looking further towards the other markets here, we talked about the pound early on. Similar story. We see something of similar nature here right now. Markets bouncing around, and it looks like from what we've seen in the past here, the market might be ready to pop again lower, either towards the 50 moving average or even lower towards lower prices. So dollar strength might be on the cards. The dollar strength, obviously, as geopolitical tensions unfold, will likely cause some impact here in markets. And speaking of impact, crypto, last one to talk about here. Bitcoin has nicely moved to higher levels, basically earlier last week. What goes up early in the week quite often weakens towards the end of the week. And that's how we see the Bitcoin market right now. Last week closed in kind of quite some bearish note. And we see that this bearish momentum here unfolded, moving the market eventually in a correction. But we had a lower high. We went to the downside. We had another lower high. So it looks like we might be ready to kind of weaken again further towards lower price levels as the market unfolds here in this case, with Bitcoin being kind of quite on the weaker side. Same story for Ethereum and the others. Remember, I'm still invested here in Ethereum. I still have each. I have XRP to some small quantity of some small quantity. Also looks kind of quite weak, and I have Cardano on these. These are the markets I have complementing my equity portfolio. Guys, that's all for the time being. Looking forward to see you in one of our recent or next webinars. Leave your comments under the video, and just don't forget to subscribe to our channel as usual. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.